some point, you have to stop neglecting yourself. No more, I'll try, I'll see, maybe later. Because the life you want is waiting for the version of you that stops making excuses. The moment that you take that responsibility is the moment that everything starts to change. Good morning, beautiful people. Today is a beautiful Thursday morning, and we're going to have a very intense and raw subject today. Today's going to be your excuses are costing you everything. All right, let's get right into it. So, everybody wants change, but nobody wants to confront the excuses, keeping them the same. We say, I'm tired, I don't have time, I'll start tomorrow. Maybe it'll be there tomorrow, or something like that, right? But the truth is, excuses don't protect you, they imprison you. Every excuse sounds like confront to the mind. Now, in actuality, it's a delay on the life that you're praying for. So, the one thing that I started taking serious was working out. And I would always tell myself, I'm going to work out, I'm going to work out. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. I would tell my wife, I'm going to work out soon. Don't worry too much about it, but I'm going to work out soon. Year went by, 2 years went by, was talking about it, never did it. And one day she just started saying, I thought you said you were going to work out. And then kept saying it over and over and over and over. And I started realizing that I wasn't holding myself accountable for those things, that I had said something and I didn't do it. And I kept repeating it over and over and over. And I said, I'll start tomorrow. I don't have time right now. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm working here, I'm working there. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I got time. And the excuses didn't stop still. That was crazy, right? The excuse that I was using, I was able to meet it. And then I still made more excuses on top of it. And that's so crazy because you really don't realize how powerful your excuses are. They're creating your reality for right now. And my excuses were creating my reality right now. Now, back then, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago when I started working out, I was making it a reality. I didn't know what I was doing. COVID had just happened, and I wanted to go work out. I went here, went there, I was doing this, I was doing that. I was trying to figure out what to work out, what to do, things like that. And I was starting to get a groove in it. But then I would make the excuse that I was too tired. And one after another, I just kept making excuses why I stopped and why I kept doing this and why I kept doing that. And the crazy part is that even though I prayed for it, God was giving me the ability to do it. He was making time for me. He was putting my wife in front of me so that she can hold me accountable. He was giving me the opportunity to walk, to wake up every day, to use all my limbs. Even the littlest things are the things that I was thinking about. And it's crazy how consistently I would make those excuses. And then one day I just did it. And I just went for it. Now, I'm not the best example for working out. There's a lot of times that I ego lift. There's a lot of times that I may overdo it. But I know my body and I know what it's capable of. I know what I want out of my body. And the crazy thing is that on top of that, I had started meal prepping because I kept making that other excuse. Well, I don't have enough food. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I started doing it. And every time that I made an excuse, I would just go for it. I would just do it every single time. Now, yeah, after a while, you get tired of the excuses. You get tired of the consistent, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, if I do it, people are going to make fun of me. Oh, if I do this, it's going to look weird. Or like, it was always something, right? And I know that at the end of the day, if I didn't do it, no one was going to hold my hand and take me there. And I'm a grown man. Why do I need to get to that extent to tell myself, well, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to get to that point of, I need someone to take me, or I need to get to that point where I feel like I'm not good enough for myself. Yeah, it's a little corny, but what are you going to do, huh? Tell me, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep making those excuses? Are you going to keep going through those trials all the time? All right. All right. Now we are going to get into the first bullet point for today. It's going to be excuses feel safe. Excuses are comfort. They remove pressure, they remove responsibility, they remove urgency. Instead of saying, I'm scared to fail, we say, I'll do it when the time is right. Excuses are fear dressed up as logic. Oh, that is very intense because you don't understand how. Let me put it to you in this way. You go outside, it feels a little chilly. You know it's going to be chilly. What's the first thing you do? You put a jacket on. You feel comfortable. You feel smooth. And then what happens when you have the little breeze going through your sleeves on your jacket? You start feeling oh, all cold again, right? Excuses are the exact same way. They're covering you up to change your mind to think that you are warm. In reality, it's still cold outside. It is so crazy how we can go through life and on the littlest things it takes us time to work on. Like this is not going to be easy. But if you feel like you have been giving yourself excuses, look at how your life has been so far. So that way you don't have to keep going that route. Think about when you started riding a bike. There's a million excuses that you could give. My daughter gave me a million excuses why she couldn't do it. And you know what I kept telling her? If you keep putting in your head that you can't, then you never will. All you have to do is just get on it and go. Yes, I helped her along the way, not as much as I should have, but she got to the point where she takes off now. There ain't nothing holding her back. As soon as she got on it, she fell a couple times. Then she said, I got it. She kept going and going and going. And then she finally said, take off the training wheels. She fell a couple times. It kept going and going and going. I see exactly. Look at you now. The same thing when she was roller skating. It was always, I can't do it. I can't do it. I show her a couple stuff. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I said, if you keep saying you can't do it, you're never going to do it. Excuses become your reality. They become a comfort zone. It's like a coping mechanism. You keep giving yourself excuses. So you keep feeling like, okay, as long as I give myself an excuse, I'll be okay. Nothing can hurt me as long as I'm giving myself excuses. But you giving yourself excuses is hurting you. Have you ever heard the saying that whether you give me an answer now or later, you're still giving me an answer? Yes, because technically you are going through the process of doing something whether you like it or not. And at the end of the day, it is not easy to feel to get out of your comfort zone, like out of your bubble. A lot of people like to be safe, like a lot of people like to be workers per se, right? Not everyone is meant to be a manager. There are a lot of people who are meant to be workers, but that's because what they're used to is the exact same thing every single day. And then what do you see online? Influencers, gym influencers, millionaires, entrepreneurs. You see all these people, but compare that to the amount of people that you work with. Where is there more? There's always going to be more people working. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if your passion is to get out there and do something, then get out there and do something. Don't let what everyone else is doing make you feel safe. It's like people telling you go to college because that's the only way you're going to be okay. And then what happens? You change your major 7 times, which has been statistically proven that people who go to college change their major at least 7 times before they finish school. And then you get out of college, You're working, takes you a while to find work. All of a sudden, you're working in a job that you don't even like. So it's there's so many things that can change in life, but if you don't take that step, you're never gonna find out. You could have never went to college. You could have never took that job. You could have never made that left turn. But just like a GPS, you are rerouting. You are not taking a wrong turn. I've never heard the GPS ever tell me you're taking a wrong turn. Turn around and do this. It always says rerouting, rerouting, rerouting. Because yes, you're eventually going to get there. But if you make that excuse of why you haven't turned left yet or why you haven't turned right yet, that's on you. But you're going to get there. You are going to get there. So we are going to be now in the second bullet point, which is excuses kill momentum. You don't fall behind in one big decision. You fall behind in a small daily hesitations. So it says, I'll skip today. I'll start next week. I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. Momentum dies quickly, and excuses are usually the weapon. Have you ever started going to the gym and one day you don't feel really good? You say, I'm going to take a rest day. That's fine. Then the next day comes, you're like, well, I took a rest day yesterday, and today was actually my rest day. Okay, yeah, so you're 2 days off now. Okay. Then the next day comes, and something comes up. You have to go here, you have to do that. And then you get home, and you're like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to go no more. And then a pattern starts happening, and then the excuses start killing your momentum that you were having. Daily excuses. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, because of this or this. Okay, I can't do it because of this. And it's always the exact same thing every single time. Yes, excuses kill your momentum. Have you ever watched sports? Sports are a big part of that. If you don't get down and do the exact same thing every single day, and you're not pushing yourself every single day, you are going to fall behind. You need to keep it up. It's like me wanting to keep working out, but I'm not doing cardio. If I stop doing my cardio, I'm gonna feel winded. I'm gonna make excuses. Oh, I could have had one more, but I'm fine. One more rep, no, it's fine. I could have pushed one more, no, it's fine. I'm already feeling tired. I might as well wrap up already. You see, it all starts with one. It literally just starts with one, and that's what kills your momentum. The the part of you that is literally the best part of you. You have to understand that just one excuse is going to be the either make or break moment. Do you want that one excuse to change everything? Or do you want to keep going no matter what excuses you have? Because you can get up today for work or you don't have to. You could start a business today or you don't have to. You can start going to the gym today, but you don't have to. You can literally do anything that you want, but you also don't have to. I have seen many people give the excuse of themselves of why they can't make content. And because they're too shy, because they feel uncomfortable talking in front of a camera, or the other part is, I don't know what to say, but they talk about it all the time. It is good because instead of you saying that you would never do it, you are saying, I'm thinking about it. That is the first part of anything, literally. You're already doing half of what everyone's not doing. So now that you got to that point where you are thinking about it, why don't you get to the next point? Well, look at me. I'm making content. I could have an excuse of why I didn't make this video today because I didn't go to the gym. But you know what? I started investing in myself. Made sure I got a good mic. Make sure I got all my setup here. Make sure I got my coffee, got my light, got what makes good, what it makes, well, what would make me happy, right? Not what makes it good, but what makes me happy. Yeah, at the end of the day, I would want a nice fancy camera. At the end of the day, I would want more subscribers. I would want more followers. But is that going to stop me? No, because I got to where I'm at right now by doing something. And I kept giving myself excuse of why I can't and I shouldn't. And then I just did it. So this year is going to be like any other year where there's going to be consistent posting, there's going to be consistent content no matter what. And I'm just going to keep pushing every single day. And there's no excuse of why I can't. All right. So we are now in the third bullet point, which is excuses block growth. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort, but excuses keep you avoiding discipline, avoiding hard conversations, avoiding responsibilities. You can't grow while protecting your comfort. Excuses don't just delay progress, they delay who you're meant to become. You don't know until you do it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Like you're not gonna know your potential, where you're going to be at, unless you go for it, unless you try it, unless you do something, right? So at the end of the day, you may feel like, wow, this is like something that I could do, but I mean, if I don't start right now, I can always start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you say, well, it's because this came up or this came up. Like, how do you know if you don't try? Nothing changes when nothing changes. You're going to keep following the same pattern over and over and over again. And one of these days, you're going to have to figure out, wow, like, if I would have just done it then instead of doing it now, I could have been farther along. I mean, look at me, I'm 30. If I would have cleaned up my act when I was 22 or 21, I don't know where it would have been. If I would have started content at that time, I don't know where it would have been. If I would have stayed in football, I don't know where it would have been. But I made the excuses and now I am where I'm at. Now, the other side of it is not holding on to regret. If you didn't do it when you were supposed to, that is okay because you feel like you weren't supposed to. You never know what could have happened. But as a famous scientist once said, I didn't fail 2,000 times. I just found 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be scared that if you mess up so much that you're just done. Like it's never gonna happen for you. It's not like that. It's never going to be like that. You can't expect everything out of it. I mean, look at people who are surgeons. They had to go through college. Well, first off, high school, college, and make sure they pass every single test. There's rare instances where they passed every single test, but they had something that they wanted to do and they kept going for it. They kept going, going, and going, and going. Is it wrong to give yourself excuses? No. But look at the people who are graduating over the age of 60 because they went back to school. Do you think that their excuses were good enough or not? They had to take care of their family. They had to make sure their kids got to school. They had to make sure the bills were paid, food was on the table, and that was a consistent thing. It is beautiful to see that they're still going for it and they didn't make that last excuse last forever. But what side do you want to be on? You want to be on the side that's doing it now or the one that waits 50 years? Do you want to be that example now or do you want to wait for someone else to tell you, I wish I would have done more when I was younger. I had so many dreams and plans. It's not fun. It is not fun. And I'm just turning 30 and I'm still feel like I'm barely getting started in life. All right, so we are at the end of the video for today. Um, if you haven't already, consider checking out my channel. Consider checking out my links in my bio, or consider subscribing. It is free. If you feel like this has helped you, or if you feel like this would help someone that you know, send it to them. Never know what can happen, right? No excuses. So finishing up here, at some point, you have to stop neglecting yourself. No more, I'll try, I'll see, maybe later. Because the life you want is waiting for the version of you that stops making excuses. The moment that you take that responsibility is the moment that everything starts to change. You are one decision away from starting a life that can completely change everything around you. You don't have to be in the same position every single day, day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to do things for yourself. You're allowed to be happy. You are allowed to at least explore other things. Have you ever wanted to golf? It's not cheap, but if you put the time aside, you get the materials, the equipment, all that stuff, then you just take one afternoon and go. It doesn't happen overnight, but look at the kids that are doing pressure wash. I remember pressure washing was like a big thing. Like everyone wanted to do pressure washing, and I've seen some that talk about how their business failed, but some talk about how they succeeded. And the ones that always say that they failed is like, at least I tried it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't know if I was good at it or not. That is just so inspiring for anyone. Like it doesn't matter who you are. That is crazy. Like doesn't matter who you are. Like you just went for it, right? Same thing with people in construction. They go through having to work on their with someone else for a long time. They get really good at it, and then they just start buying material little by little, and then they go on their own. One job, two jobs, 10 jobs, and then at the very end, they're running their own business. It is crazy. Like you just don't know what can happen until you try. But at least try. Trying is going to feel so much better when you fail or whenever you win, because at least you are trying. Trust me. I may not be doing the great numbers as everyone else doing content, but it's not about that for me. It's about doing what I love, and what I love to do is make videos. What I love to do is help people. What I love to do is talk about God, talk about everything He's done for me. If this has helped you at all, consider subscribing or watching my rest of my videos, or anything to share with someone, because that's what we're here to do anyways. I want to thank you. I hope that you have a great week, and we're going to be signing off from here. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.